If your credit profile looks like this, you are not getting approved. I don't care how good you think your credit is. What most people don't realize is why, and that's the part that matters. Most people focus on one thing when they think about their credit, and it's the score. This is the least important thing. You see a 750 or 800 and you assume that you're in a great position. And the reason is that's the benchmark that everybody knows and talks about. Oh, I want the 800 score, yada, yada, yada. Funding though does not fall apart based on a score that you see, because the bank doesn't use the score. It falls apart because of what happens when the bank looks past the score. And this is where most people get caught off guard. Between Vantage or FICO, between high or low, good or bad, you might think that you're doing everything right, but then how much you're getting approved for stalls, is limited, is reduced, or just is outright denied. And then you get stuck because you're like, well, I don't really know what makes sense because I've done just about everything. So the real question is not, does my score look good? The real question is my credit profile actually built for funding? Let's get into it. When lenders review your profile, like underwriters for the acquisition of capital, they're gonna lend you money. They're looking at the full structure of what you're bringing to the table, and we're gonna call that data points. They're looking at who you bank with, how recently you've been applying for credit, what type and kinds of accounts you have, how many of your revolving accounts have the highest limits or lesser limits. They're looking at your balances, and ultimately they're looking at how long everything's been active. So a strong profile isn't just about the score. It's about depth, it's about balance, it's about history, basically the culture of your credit. And so if your funding profile is built the wrong way, funding becomes super duper difficult even when you think your score looks great. What surprises most people is realizing they weren't really building their credit profile for funding. They were just arbitrarily building their credit profile. But if you build your credit like everybody else builds theirs, basically following what Google says, and Google's talking to an 18-year-old trying to build their credit, not to a 35-year-old investor who's looking to, acquire a business or scale their company. So the strategy that Google gives you does not always translate into approvals for your business. If you want to know if your profile is actually positioned properly for funding, DM me the word roadmap. We'll look at the full picture and help you understand where you are and what your credit profile can realistically support based on how you're coming and bringing yourself to the bank.